Welcome, everybody, to our next episode of PSO Live. This is the Red Night, if you cannot tell. We have our great friend Carlos Rodriguez as our soloist, and as you can see, he is wearing red, and so we thought we would honor that tonight. At least here in the Sith Cave, it's Grunge Night. I'm going to be playing a lot of bass after we finish tonight. So anyway, welcome, everyone. My name is Glenn Quater. I'm the music director and conductor of PSO, and I'm joined by two members of our board. We have our co-chair, Ernest Huter, and our executive director, Kate Garrettson. Welcome, both of you guys. How y'all doing?
Doing great, Glenn.
Yeah?
How are you tonight? I love your
great.
red background.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
very satanic.
Well, there it is. Yeah, it's actually in tribute to my friend Carlos, because at the concert we both wore red shirts, and it's for the fire and spice of the Spice of Life concert that we did together back. It was June of 2018, I believe.
That's right.
We had our great friend Carlos Rodriguez in, who is just an incredible artist, incredible pianist, and a great friend of not only the orchestra but me personally, and we've done so many great things together. So great to feature him tonight, and all of the music that we played in that incredible concert. It was so fun. So let's turn it over to Ernie now. Ernie, how you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing great, Glenn. It was a great day, beautiful day. I hope everybody had a good time if you weren't at the beach, because apparently everybody was at the beach. But I want to say something about Carlos. The piano was something I learned when I was young, and took piano lessons, and it's always been my favorite, whether it's classical or whether it's jazz. I love jazz.
Yeah.
But when we had Carlos, he is such a dynamic personality, and he plays with such energy.
Oh, yeah.
That it's just, when you're sitting in the audience, it gives you a rise out of your seat. It makes you feel good. And the whole thing is, a lot of pianists can be on stage and have such a serious demeanor.
Sure.
As they're focused on their art. But not Carlos. Carlos is, he's our modern day Victor Borge. I mean, he just has a great time with the audience.
Yes.
He smiles. He's got a grin ear to ear.
Yep.
And to be able to play with that much passion and have that much fun, because he's telling you that he's having fun.
Yeah.
And so he's making you have fun.
Exactly.
And that's just the beauty of his artistry. And so I'm looking forward to repraising this tonight and reliving that great concert that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to do a little commercial break, if I may. And we have a program every year that people support us by putting their ads in our program. So I want to honor some of those people tonight. We can't do them all, so we'll do a little bit every time we do this. So I want to honor a great law firm, Robin Gulick's law firm, Gulick, Carson, and Thorpe. If you need any legal help, defense, estates, they're your guys. They're great people. And then also Berkeley Gallery.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Sense is a great supporter of the orchestra, and he has two galleries on Main Street.
Yeah. Very long-time supporter of the PSO.
And he has some wonderful art. And then, as we've been in this lockdown, one of the things that has been something we need to do and take care of are our pets.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like, can we take the dog to the vet? Can we do this? And my wife, Carol, she's like, can we get Zip into the vet to see this? And well, now it's social distancing, so you sit in the car while the dog goes in. Well, that's trauma. But anyway, one of our great veterinarian clinics, Village Veterinary Clinic, is a great group of people. So as things open up, you can take your dog to the vet and get him groomed. And we want to thank you for your continued support.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks to all of those great supporters of ours. Fantastic. So, Kate, how are we doing tonight?
We are looking forward to the music tonight.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to love it. And if you were at that concert, I mean, what Ernie said about Carlos is absolutely true. He's one of my favorite soloists to perform with because he's so engaging on every level, and he's just so personable, and all of that comes out in his music.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of things with him, but for me, this was my favorite program that I've done with Carlos.
Right.
I thought it was perfect fit for him, for the orchestra, and I'm looking forward to hearing the music tonight.
Oh yeah. He embodies the entire title of the concert, The Spice of Life.
Absolutely.
That's our great friend Carlos Cesar Rodriguez, and we have a piece that what we'll start with tonight is the opening piece. And no, actually, it was not the opening piece, but one of the pieces that was a very varied concert. We had pieces from the two Carmen suites, and we did this piece that we're going to play with you now by Defia called Spanish Dance No. 1 from, I think it's the Spanish Life, I believe it's called. And anyway, it's a great orchestral feature showing off the great sounds of the PSO. And when we finish that, who are we bringing back, Kate?
We are going to bring Carlos and our esteemed concertmaster Lee Brewster on to be our guests for the entire show. So we're going to have a lot of really fun back and forth musical conversation, and I think that's a great way to relive this concert, at least for me. So
yeah, absolutely.
I like that combination, and that Defia that we're going to start out with.
Yeah,
that was a fun piece to play.
A beautiful piece. Great piece.
Yeah, loved everything about this concert. So I think we're in for a fun night.
I agree. And Lee has done a lot of concerts with Carlos, with us.
Yes,
and
a lot of experience
as well. So and Lee has a lot of solos throughout some of the solo works that Carlos does with us tonight. But it's going to be great fun, folks. It's a high energy concert, and we really are looking forward to showing it to you. So why don't we go ahead and move into this great piece by Defia. Ernie, thank you again for coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And Glenn, it's great to be here, and I want to say something to everybody. We've got some scheduling issues coming up, and so I want everybody to enjoy this concert because we're going to take a 2-week break.
Yep.
And we'll be back on June 9th. And so everybody sit back, enjoy, get your glass of wine.
Yeah. It's going to be
Cheers.
fun. Cheers, everyone. All right, into the great Defia piece. This is the Spanish Dance. Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. I have to go into another room to monitor our broadcast, so it's delayed. So when I come back in, I'm 15 seconds late. So anyway, welcome back. We are joined by our great friend Carlos Rodriguez. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you so much for the invitation, Glenn and Kate and Lee and board members, everyone.
Thanks so much for coming on. What a concert, my friend.
Fun concert that was.
Right?
It was wonderful.
Amazing. Yes. We'll talk about a lot. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So, and also we have with us our esteemed concertmaster, H. Lee Brewster. Lee, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing wonderful, and it's great to be out here with Carlos and you and Kate.
Yes.
It was a great concert. It was amazing.
It's so fun.
That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
So fun. And, you know, as I mentioned, Lee, you've been on a lot of concerts with Carlos, and every time we do it, it's electric. I mean, it's just amazing.
Oh, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Love music. And of course, I go back, and Glenn, you and I go back, too.
Way. Long time.
Oh, Kate!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you and I met first. I don't even know what year it was. It must have been about 2008 or 7.
Yeah.
And it was...
We were playing this, right?
Yes. Yes, the famous Gershwin. That was a concert at the Shenandoah Valley Music Festival where they brought you a wonderful giant piano outside there. Remember that?
Well, yes, it was. And I started at sunset, and it kind of when
amazing
as we
even
progressed night. It was wonderful. Yeah,
I have the video, of course, from that concert, as I told you. And the great thing is that people don't know is we started the piece. The sun was out behind us. Everybody's wearing sunglasses. By the time we got to the end, it was dark in the back. It was amazing. It was such a cool video. And that was with the Fairfax Symphony, and that was a really great concert. Wow. That's the first time we worked together.
Yeah, and that was, as they say, the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, yeah. And then we brought you into PSO, and you've done the Gershwin with us.
Then I think that's what we did: the Gershwin, the concerto, and also, of course, with this.
And we did
the Rhapsody in Blue. With this
Plus we also had another concert where you did the Ravel, and you did the left hand.
2016, I believe.
Yes.
We did both Ravel too.
Right.
You know that. With that beautiful second movement.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, incredible! With the English horn solo. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, we had the left hand concerto, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Carlos in digital fashion right there with our great digital technology. Incredible. Yeah, we have done a lot of great works together. Wow.
I never knew my house was going to be a
a studio. Yeah.
Piano, which by the way, I love.
Yeah, tell us about the piano.
It's a 1938,
1921.
1921, right? 29. Oh, and corrected, yeah, I guess.
29.
Anyway, which was chosen by Eugene Esterman. Great.
Yes, of course.
And of course, as you know, musicians were always doing stuff. I never even had time to practice, but I love the piano. She gave it to me. Actually, it was a gift. We need to have a contract. It was for like $1. But I never had tune. I never had it. prepared. I was thinking, wow, we used to go, to a spa somewhere, and all of a sudden we found ourselves here. Like my hair is getting longer. God knows. I'm deciding, well, should I just completely get a crew cut or just let it go? So now it's like I'm doing the piano is going back.
Carlos, anyway. It's all in the lighting, my friend.
Exactly. So I have to. Oh, and also I noticed. So when I do my improv on the danzón, I have to do it a step.
It's a John Cage piano.
Yes.
Yes. Prepared piano. That's okay. Paperclip never hurts anything.
Has the castanets in it.
Yes, exactly. So, Carlos, we have tonight, we have 2 concertos that you played with us on this fantastic Spice of Life concert. And I really want to let the audience learn about what this music is from you. And also, we were talking the other day about the prominence of Lee's solos in this music, too. It's incredible the way that the violin is, well, it's very string-centric, obviously, but the solo violin is so prominent.
Yeah, it's such a combination of, it was early 20th century. Mm-hmm. So I think it has a combination. You'll hear some French colors, but it's definitely idiom of Spanish. And I think people were experimenting concert hall, salon music,
right.
Like bringing the salon music into the concert stage. They were experimenting with size of composition,
mm-hmm.
Like this is a very short composition because it was probably like maybe an orchestra, or maybe there was a theater piece, or there were 2 fantasies, or maybe there was a pianist playing a solo, and then this particular piece is for string orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
And piano. The key, I think, is some of this key is kind of difficult for the string, but they always choose. I don't think composers really care much about.
Doesn't seem like it.
Flat.
E-flat.
So the idea is also the piano music quality, like sometimes the piano is just. You'll hear that. So let me actually go. I picked 4 spots, especially because she was so great, and I hope it's in the video. I never seen the video, but it's he's there playing, and I'm like,
yeah, that melody.
It's like it's feeling at home, It's like playing, even though we were on stage. It was like, oh yeah, I remember when he and I used to play, sideways music and something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It feels like parlor music, like you say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in a concert. Some sections.
Yeah, just that little, there's little spots where that happens.
Which is what makes it innovative. I think people were experimenting with that. Forêt has a fantasy like that. Mm-hmm. Well, the Albany earlier. But then it does have Spanish elements. And I would think what Spanish is, in some music, of course, rhythmic is very important. And this is where I love you guys, the orchestra, and I love the band, because you guys have the rhythmic phrasing is really important, at least for me.
Yes, absolutely.
We talk about melody, which is very important. We should talk about harmony. But there's the rhythmic quality. I mean, it's all dance and song. That's what it's all about. Whether it's a Mozart concerto, or whether it's a rock, or whether it's a milonga, or whether it's a danzón.
Yeah.
It's all a combination of rhythmic phrasing, rhythmic actions, with musical action and musical phrasing. But in Spanish, music is very even extra more because it's tied to the core of the music. Like, for example, let me take you just 4 spots.
Yes.
It's like what I call personally, llamada. And this is what I work with dancers. So in a llamada, you have something like, so you call either the dancer or you call the singer, and then the singer, ba, 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 ba. So you will hear this. And then the pianist does.
Answer.
Sound world imitating what a dancer does with the pose.
Yeah.
then, and then it repeats. It repeats again. Right? And then
Yeah. Bold introduction.
well, the singer would do that. Of course, the pianist would do that. We do.
Yes. Right
I
on.
love it. I love it.
This is the thing in chamber music, which requires not just chamber music, the pianist, with an orchestra, but the pianist with the conductor. Da 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 da, pizzicato.
Pizzicato.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Da, da. And I know I only got the video you sent me when I was.
Yes.
When
Yeah. The conductor can. Right.
Oh my God! I want to learn to conduct like that because we were right on. Of course.
Yeah,
we
that's
are
a hardcore pizzicato right there in that moment. It is. It is. Yes.
Strange hybrid there because we're so much into our styles. We're so much into style, and I think what's unique about the orchestra is that it plays so many different genres, and it's all about music. It's just not classical pop. It's all one thing.
Yes. Yes.
So, and then after all that, the string goes.
Yeah.
Again, it's sort of song again, There's the what I call the French section, the sort of salon.
Yes.
And this is where Lee was wonderful because
Yeah.
he does this solo goes.
That's right.
So he leads. I'm at this point. I'm just a cafe piano playing, and he leads it. And then the blend responds after. I think it's also a very visual piece. I think
It reminds me. It reminds me of the Don Juan.
Very visual, I think.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Don Juan violin solo a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes.
I mean, it
Yeah.
reminded me of
Yeah.
that.
Who came first?
They were
I'm
combined
not sure.
with experimentation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a blend of those genres, though, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the Don Juan solo.
Yeah.
And a couple of other solos. Strauss. I don't know. I mean, did Strauss come first, or
I wonder.
or
I
did
guess. Well,
I think it's
I think Strauss did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe. I could be wrong. I think it's 1930. This particular.
Right.
In the either late 20s or the 30s. I can.
So it was around that same time. Yeah, because.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were all being influenced by all of the other.
It was either that school of they love Wagner, and of course, Strauss, or they said, "Well, I used to love Wagner, now I hate him." So I go
right.
out.
Anti-Wagner.
So, and of course, you had these people in Spain and France talking together, so everything was,
yeah,
It was
all
like
one thing.
like a blender almost. It really was at that time. It was slow, but it happened. It did happen.
And painting too, painting, dance, and theater were becoming more experimenting with together.
What a time, huh? What a time.
Yeah.
It was and jazz, of course, also starts to develop them.
Yeah, and they're all connected. That's the beauty of it.
So and then the other section that I find interesting is then we go into the dance, which is the zapateado. Zapateado is it's this dance in six that happens every time. I'll play a little something. And I think that Bernstein,
right.
that I want.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, because you guys played pop, you know, that's what the piano, right? The string
awesome.
does one, bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you put it all together,
yeah.
So it's, and then it goes. So,
Yep.
I think I just gave you the sections that I felt
Yeah.
was great. And I think you'll hear. I haven't seen the video, but I think we were so connected. And
it sounds great. It really does.
A good glass of red wine goes with this piece.
Oh, absolutely. Well, on that note, my friend, is there anything anybody would like to add who's on the screen right now? Kate, is there anybody that is eager to hear us let Carlos loose on this piano here?
I think it's definitely time.
What do
We've
you
had
think,
enough
Carlos?
teasers.
Are you ready? Are you ready for your glass of wine, Carlos?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, folks. With that, so we are going into this incredible piece. Carlos, tell us the exact title so I don't mess it up.
Oh, Rhapsodia Sinfonica.
And Rhapsodia Sinfonica.
Rhapsodia Sinfonica.
Okay. By?
Joaquin Turina.
Thank you. With that, folks, here we are, the amazing Carlos Rodriguez.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, folks, that was the amazing Carlos Rodriguez on this incredible piece of music. Carlos, what a fun piece. Yeah, bravo, man. Wow. What a ride for us, too, really.
Isn't that great? It's great. Connection. I just love, we're a good group, you know. Like,
yeah, the tightness was fantastic, and the solos are beautiful, Lee. And that's some hard stuff. That's the, I remember there's one line you all have this, bum, 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 body, bum, 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 beep, body. You have to octave super high and then back down again. Beep, bum, 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 bum. You know, really high. And you guys, great work on that, really. Great work on that.
Murina, in some way, he's a little crazy about that.
Yeah, I think so. But again, in the style of the dance, and you got to do it. It's like playing, you know, Piazzolla. We've done a lot of Piazzolla at PSO, and I think both Lee and Kate would agree that some of those string parts, man, they're bare. And again, you have to just do the work and get the parts down. But it's demanding, not only rhythmically but technically, you know.
And goes forward too. I mean, to go for it.
Oh yeah.
You cannot be gun shy with these pieces at all. You have to be prepared so that you can have confidence that you can go for it. And that was the challenge.
But it's easy with you, Carlos. It really is. And because you have the rhythm in you, my friend. Isn't there a song called that? Feel the rhythm in? No. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Too much time in the bass world. So anyway, it's, you know, the best part about it is that because you've been there so many times too, that when you show up and you come and play with us and we rehearse and then we prepare, I mean, you know everyone there. They know you too.
It becomes very organic.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
We were talking just now, you know, what we miss is, the list, you know, being together, you know, socializing and working social kind of thing. And it's wonderful that you develop a relationship and you grow as a group, you know.
Right.
And also in relationship with the orchestra and the conductor. It's not like you come and do your thing and then you leave.
No, not at all. It's an investment.
So it's organic, and also becomes then, because you're prepared, you can do things on the spot.
Yeah. The spontaneity is really a big part of what I think not only the piece embodies, but PSO is very capable in rolling with that. But you and I have that same thing where it's like we're going to switch it up just a teeny bit, right? And we do it on the fly, and it's awesome. You know, I love that. And I know PSO, I mean, they catch that probably faster than I do. And it's just so fun. It really is.
That's what's so special. And I think it's the cross of style. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just, you know, it's music making. Serious. It's music.
So now, Carlos. Go ahead, Lee.
I'm going to give it as a rock concert of Albeni's or Mozart.
Yeah. Well, what's our next piece up, Carlos? Talk to us.
I think it's the Albeni.
Yes.
And talking about spontaneity, we always tell stories, and actually this is one of them, actually. It repeats, like when the solo comes and they say, well, the Mozart concerto is number 24, and then they're playing number 22, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So this particular piece is actually a solo piece by Albeni, the original.
Yeah, it's the violin piano, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm talking about the this particular Spanish Rhapsody. He says, of course, of course, the tango is also it's one of those pieces that are popular, and many people did arrangements.
Okay.
Not only that, but this particular arranger did. There were various. Well, there were different people arranging, and there were definitely versions of, like, the first arrangement, the second arrangement, the third arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the story sort of is, because in a way it's sort of is called Spanish Rhapsody. So in the original had a lot of moments for cadenza. So of course when Glenn and I met, I was this sort of, one of those things. Life happens, say, well, what arrangement do you have? Well, I have this one. It's like, oh, let me see what you have.
Yeah, we went back and forth quite a bit, and
Oh!
we modified. We had to modify the score with the parts and the orchestra, and say we're adding 6 bars here, and Carlos is going to do this thing here, and then and that's the form, okay? Yeah,
that was good though.
Yeah.
Or like this part in my version, the latest version was eventually ended up in C major.
Oh, that part. Yeah.
But in the other version of Jose,
Yeah.
so there's so many versions. Why don't I'll go with what you have, and then you guys, modify a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments in cadenzas that happen.
Right. You added bars in the cadenza at the end of it, right?
So what you're actually seeing in this concert is actually an improv. And those who love, I have a lot of people, colleagues, students who are like, wow, you improvise. You should sort of start doing what they used to do back in the Romantic era, where Liszt and all those people used to improvise their own thing. Well, you guys actually get to hear completely improvise. So I would say that, and what's so wonderful about this orchestra, because again, you guys are doing different genres, and some of those genres implies improvisation. So it's not like saying, "Oh my God, we're gonna freak out." No, it's just I'll give you 3 bars. I ended up on. Something like that.
Right.
And of course, I'm looking at when I went back to when we actually met the first time, I went back and I said, well, I just improvise. I think you'll hear one time the orchestra takes the tune. I think it's in D major. I didn't know it. Eventually, when the orchestra comes, all of it goes. And then, so I'm just like improvising that chord. So it's all combination on the spot of the moment. And of course, what is so wonderful, and I believe the slow section, which I think in the version that I had was in F major.
Yes.
Which has this sort of wonderful part in the piano that I believe, I can't quite remember now, but I think in the version that you guys have is in a different key. So I think it was so great that the communication Glenn Orchestra, I don't know, I haven't seen the video, but I remember from that time, I was just like, oh yeah, isn't that this? So great. Oh, and everybody. So
Yeah.
So, just a little brief, 2 things for this
Sure.
piece. Again, this is completely different Yamada or calling. The other one was a strum. This isn't sort of like strumming of the guitars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, right? So start. And the piano does the cante fondo. Flute, I believe. Then, of course, Spanish music has to have a dance. And this the jota, you know.
Right.
That's the jota aragonesa, and then have the. Of course, it's a variation.
Yep.
So the piano sort of does all kinds of acrobat like a dancer would do or the castanet player would do, you know? So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Rapsodia Española.
Yay!
Albeni.
So if anybody's been watching this, you see the screen has changed before your eyes as we're talking. I'm just responding to some feedback that we got on our chat to make Carlos bigger. So I made the videos bigger of us talking so that they could see what you're doing. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for that feedback, by the way. Thank you very much. So now, Carlos, this piece is longer too, isn't it? It has a lot to it. It really does.
Yeah.
The intro is, there's no hurry in the intro. That's what I love about it. It really makes you wait, you know?
It takes some time. It sort of follows the model of the list. You know, there was sort of, I don't think he was going to, of course, Albeni was a prodigy.
Right.
He could play the piano. It's one of those that, there's even legends, I don't know if it's true or not, that he could be one of those that could play like on the keys,
Right.
like tricks, you know, when he was a child, and definitely a great virtuoso. He almost met Liszt, but then, I don't think it ever happened. However, he does have that element of the Lisztian, you know, of course, Liszt mania after Liszt or Paganini,
Right.
you know.
Right.
After Paganini, violinist, all the other pieces, Lee, you could mention some of them that would follow the same sort of formats, you know, caprichos or rhapsodies or stuff that would span. And of course, this sort of follows the Hungarian Rhapsody, where you have the slow section sort of drawn out, and of course this is why it's drawn out, you know, and then has the that section and cadenza, of course, very in that tradition of virtuosity of Zingarez, you know, the whole. Or the guitar, or the piano, and in which case I'm saying I'm improvising those on the spot, so nothing's going to be what you're going to hear. It was whatever it was that night.
Yeah, right.
And then, of course, then we finish with, you know, rather than.
Right.
That is. So it's this sort of same format. Fireworks. I think later in his life, of course, later in his life, he wrote one of the big masterpieces for piano, which is the Sweet Aria, that sort of combined everything, already thinking all those elements, but yet very, I want to say, I don't know, for lack of a better word, more in a concert context. They're more about the individual, about his legacy. This piece, however, I love it because it's just pure fireworks. It's sort of what I call the rock.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, it's like it's like the Liszt. It's the same thing with Liszt. With the Liszt Hungarian Rhapsodies, for me, are more rock player displaying his ability, not the Liszt Sonata, which is a whole different ball game, or the later religious pieces.
Right.
But it's the same thing. It was pure, wonderful, and I think the orchestra is fantastic, it's fabulous, you are fabulous. You know, it's always fun.
It is fun, always. So Lee, what's this like for you when you have someone with the fire that Carlos has sitting right next to you? And you know, when we do these concerts, just so you know, I turn a lot of trust over to Lee in these concerts with the soloist, because he's sitting right there. He can see the execution better than I can, and he's going to play when he knows it's the right time to play, and I trust him and I follow him a lot. So, Lee, what's it like being in the driver's seat there?
Oh my gosh! Well, working with Carlos, he's always so much fun to work with, and he's very, very clear, and he's such a personality, that it's easy to open up, and to feel very relaxed out there, Usually when you work with a soloist, there's a little bit of tension, because you want things to go just right, and you want to execute, like you said, with precise, with such precision, and with Carlos, it just feels so natural to do that,
It does.
And
it's easy.
Yeah, and because when we did, what was it, the Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue, and the piano concerto, it was the same flavor. It was it just felt natural. We got out there, we were smiling, and we were almost like laughing. We're almost like laughing.
It was. It was a party.
We were having such a good time. It was kind of like we are now. It's I mean, some personalities just mesh that way, and I just felt very relaxed out there. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I think that conveys to the whole orchestra as well. That congeniality that. We were talking earlier about how during rehearsals it's almost a social aspect that I think we're all missing right now. It's the music, of course, but it's that part that is, important to convey to the rest of the orchestra from leadership. So if the podium, the concertmaster, the soloist are all communicating well and getting along, then that feeds out to the entire orchestra, and really, to me, that's why this concert was so fun, because it livened up the entire performance.
Oh, yeah.
That just general feeling of everybody's there having fun.
Yeah.
And
how can you not? I mean,
exactly.
I just felt
with this kind of music,
you know,
with this kind of soloist, I mean, it's such a great fit.
Yeah.
It was like just going out and having a nice meal with a friend, or have a nice drink with a friend. You know, that's what it's like being on the stage with Carlos.
With a little flambe on it.
It's just awesome.
Right?
It's just a great time. You know,
we have
love it.
family music together. You know,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. That's how I feel. You know, I mean, this is a big champion music.
Yes, absolutely. So, Carlos, is there anything you want to tell us about this piece?
I think
Otherwise,
it's it by itself. You know,
beautiful. What a piece.
I think we're ready to hear it.
I think we are too. All right, folks. With that, we are going to once again feature our great friend Carlos Rodriguez performing this piece by Ibanez, and we'll be back shortly after that. Once again with Carlos, Lee, Kate, myself. Please enjoy our great friend Carlos Rodriguez. All right, welcome back, everyone. That was the amazing Carlos Rodriguez.
Bravo.
And I was just saying, yes, bravo, how that last minute or so, there was one moment where you engaged your rockets in your jacket, and you levitated off the stool for a moment. I mean, that piece is just amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those. Well, whenever I play pieces like this or the Liszt Rhapsody or stuff like that, you are, especially if you do the improv, because I think that's what it was, back in that era. They were the rock stars of that time, and these things were popular. This, like I told you, this it is actually from the Jota Aragonesa was very popular. As a matter of fact, there's a Spanish Rhapsody by Franz Liszt, and it's in,
wow. So similar.
Sort of a variation, and of course the dancers started doing stuff, and of course you're going like this faster. It's like, oh my god, oh my goodness, the people fainting. That's how I always feel like that must have been what it was like.
Yeah.
And you guys are amazing. It's like, hey, these people get this thing. It's like a,
I have to say the orchestra was very on their toes for you in that piece. No doubt.
We had to be.
You had to be, yeah. You had to be, yeah. Well, it was so fun. And that second theme, talk about the second theme. It sounds like Ravel to me.
Oh, the second theme?
Yeah. The slower one. I'm not sure what it was. I think a second or third.
So it's more like the. Yeah.
No. Earlier. Slower.
Yeah.
After the intro.
Yeah.
Next theme after the intro. And then you go to another section that just feels completely different. No, it's after all of that. The one I'm talking, it's a major section that's next. No, it's not one of the parlor sections. To me, it sounds like Ravel or someone like that, but it's slow.
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you.
That's it.
But
it was slow, right? There it is.
Part of that stuff because it's, of course, you can also those people argue that Ravel is also Spanish.
Yeah, right, right.
That he's heritage of being from Basque country.
Right.
As a matter of fact, my personal take on the El Bolero, because it's really he actually almost called it a fandango. So,
sounds like bolero. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's not as serious as people
Okay.
think.
Right.
I'm not there, and maybe that's the wrong word, but I don't think it's quite as military. Still have to have this sort
Right.
of. So people could argue, you know what I mean? That that's why some of it could sound, like Ravel.
Yeah. Wow, what a neat piece! What a neat piece. And
eventually,
yeah.
Eventually, all this stuff. His later piece, which is not really out there, but has all those sort of, what I call transcendental piano writing. It sort of combines the same thing, but it becomes like. Of course, it becomes now more. It's like the Liszt sonata in some ways. It becomes more. You grab the audience to your world rather than say, "This is who I am."
The opposite.
I could do it with this piano, and at the end, I could just lift it, like they do for the encore. Just swing it. Bring me another instrument. That's what it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, onwards.
Yeah. So we had a question about our friend up here in the top corner in my Brady Bunch window. This is Kate Gerritsen. She is our executive director. So, Kate, take it away.
We did have that question, and I guess at the beginning of the show, we did have a little bit of introduction and conversation. I didn't want to interrupt the esteemed Carlos because you're certainly, in addition to being an amazing performer, you're a teacher, you're a maestro in your own right. Mm-hmm. So it is absolutely fascinating to be on this show with you tonight, to listen to your I'm learning whole new levels of this piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Well, it's a connection. Yes, and it's wonderful. Wonderful always talking to you. Wonderful just being here.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you, we've used the term rhapsody several times, and as you know, two of the pieces we had on tonight are both titled Rhapsody, and that's why we kind of got them confused, because they're both rhapsodies. So maybe Lee, you might want to chime in on this. Can we tell our viewers who might not know what a rhapsody is in musical terms?
Well, a lot of the technical definition really is that it's a piece that has many different moods and many different tempos. Okay, and it's structured in a way where it's where it actually has a slow introduction, and then it grows into a faster section, and then there's an interlude in the middle, and there's another fast section, or a relatively fast section, and then there's the finale, which is a very flashy. So so it goes in several different moods. It's kind of like up and down,
mm-hmm.
And we were talking about Ravel earlier. Ravel wrote his Rhapsody Espagnole, and that's one of the most famous pieces.
Yeah,
and it follows that very structure.
Yeah,
in the emotion. So.
Oh man, and
I like that. It's not just a form. Mm-hmm. It's all the evocative feelings that come along with that. So it's not like saying it's in sonata form. If it's a rhapsody, there's another element to it, which
it has
is
structure. It has structure, but it's not structured like a sonata, like a form.
Right.
Because it's supposed to give the flavor as though you're improvising.
Yeah.
Which is slow section followed by a fast section.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Hungarian. That's probably where this I don't know, I could be wrong, but this sort of rhapsody thing starts, with the zingarese, this whole feel for the longing,
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's the explanation I was looking for.
Yeah.
Of course, how do you put that together?
Right.
With the piano, it requires, a little bit. And of course, Albeniz is a master of that. Liszt is a master of that. There's certain composers, probably because they were themselves, lived this type of music. Mm-hmm. They knew how to then write it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so visual. It's all of this music to me, more than others, it evokes just images of dancers, or the feelings seem so vivid.
What's interesting to me that if you take, for example, Brahms' Second Concerto, what he does, he takes all that and puts it in an architectural sense. Rather than going in the mentor, it still have to sort of that all this idea that sort of course, he does it. It's more concise. Let's just put it this way. He had sort of bring this whole last movement into sort of this spontaneity, no contrast to the, to the previous third movement, the love kind of music, or in this case, not. But different types. But like you're saying, there has this elementary, written down improvisatory quality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Carlos, that was the last, at least concerto in that concert you played with us. But you also had an encore, didn't you?
Yes.
And we actually have the footage of your incredible encore. So you want to talk to us about that?
Oh, yes.
Don't give it away.
I know, it's going to be hard to do it without giving it away.
Maybe I should just play it.
It's become already, among my friends, become very popular. As a matter of fact, I'm founding artistic director of a group called Rome's Three Arts, which is really reaching out through music, talking about reaching out. Three arts because of very different, not because there are three people, but because of there are three elements of what we do. One of them is concerts, and one of them is also intercultural relationship, and use music as using music as a tool to build communities.
Great.
To bring communities together.
That's
this
fantastic.
also go to Cuba.
Wow.
But, so there's all that thought, because this little improv is a theme and a variation on a very popular theme that I used to, back in my Juilliard days, I used to practice. And then my friend, I just was offering this variation and this variation and this, with this Latin rhythm. And by one, especially violinists, as you can, there's a little bit of a hint there. It was like, I don't know, it's like, what do you call it, Snow White and the animals coming,
right.
Actually, the whole practice room will kill the atmosphere of this sort of rigidity people with this,
right.
So having that, it evolved into many, I traveled with it, and then in a side track to that, the group that I formed has three wonderful, amazing singers. Peter Burrows, which is a tenor, Spoti, soprano, and Amer Castrello, which is a
Amer, of course.
So we do, voice, piano, voice, classical, like you guys, but as a group.
Right.
And also we went to Cuba and we did stuff learn a lot of stuff what they do, which is another thing that I will talk later, but it's danzón.
Yes.
But also, they sort of gave me the really, oh wow, you do all these variations, really in this amazing, and I call it Paganiniano. Paganini should give you a hint.
Yeah.
And Cuban is called Cuban variations. So since then I played it so many times. Actually, the three variations are already memorized because it's the way it is. Everything else is again improvised. But people loved it there. It sort of uses fusion of it's like what Paganini did and what other composers done, but then fuse that with Latin rhythms. Little Horowitz there, a little bit of Liszt there, and then it has I don't know what I did that night, but usually has in the slow variation what I call the habanera with some sort of Wagnerian, counterpoint there, and then turns a wild frenzy, sort of. It reminds me of Variation series by Mendelssohn that had this, sort of. Yeah. Of course, rather than going kind of wild, and people all over the place just goes wild again. So even when I have a not such a great day, it's like, well, let me just do this cycle.
That's great.
Oh, maybe I'll forgive him for what it is.
Right. Fantastic.
Carlos, this is so fun. I have to share with you one of the comments that came in. And someone said, apparently Carlos is a walking music anthology.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely. And I love that because it's such an experience working with you because you're so knowledgeable and you bring that to the rehearsals and that ultimately shows in the performance. So
I've been looking to work with a lot of people. I mean, as one of those, I think it's Glenn and you guys too, that because we do different genres, you start learning like Spanish music. I work with dancers a lot. So I learned, I would not call myself an expert on that thing, but I would say that I've had dancers say, oh, this is what a zapateado is, and these are the accents in the dance, or maybe in the Cuban rhythms, this is the dance.
Very specific.
This is the really. And of course, I've done opera and chamber, lots of chamber. As a matter of fact, Lee and I really, I think, yes, we were first chamber music before we actually got together with the orchestra.
Yeah,
yeah.
But because we were reading a lot of stuff at Levine.
At Levine, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was Levine.
I love it. I mean, it's all over the. And now they want me to do pop stuff, and God knows, rock. I'm getting into stuff. It's like, whoa! It's like my life's taking me so many different directions. Lucky, but sometimes it's like, oh my God, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Rachmaninoff? Is it gonna be, I don't know, danzón or jazz or Paquito de Rivera?
It's so true. Man. It's so
very
true.
flattering.
Yeah. Well,
foray is next.
Yeah. Well, Carlos, we'll definitely bring you back on again because we do have the audio from the one concert where we did the Ravel pieces, and that is amazing audio that we have. So it would be great just to have you on again, and we can run a slideshow or something, or we can just be on screen while we listen and react. And it sounds phenomenal. In fact, it's one of the movements is posted on on my SoundCloud page.
Slow movement, right?
The slow one, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's just haunting music. Incredibly.
Crazy cadenza with the left hand,
Oh, yeah. So we'll get you on for that for sure, no doubt.
So I want to see for you that are listening, what's the actual theme, where it comes from?
Yeah.
I sort of give it away a little bit, but you know what I mean.
Are we ready to show them your encore?
Sure.
Let's do it. Fantastic. All right, guys. This is the spontaneous encore of Carlos Rodriguez in this concert, Spice of Life, and it is fun. So please enjoy. Okay, well, need I say more? That was the incredible Carlos Rodriguez once again on his encore. What a fun, wow.
And that was the encore after that amazing 2 concertos in that concert, and just stunning. Just, oh my God, so electrifying.
Carlos, I have a question for you. Did we pay you enough for that concert?
Wow, always great.
I think you're going to get a... no, I'm kidding.
You know what
I wish I could do it.
What I want to do with you eventually in the future, whenever we can do stuff, hopefully, mine of 3.
You got it.
Yes. Okay.
Twist my arm.
Electric with you, that orchestra, and myself.
It'd be wonderful. Incredible.
That concerto needs a lot of... I mean, I love it. I just love you guys. Wonderful.
Well, the feeling is mutual. We love having you. We love you as well.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's been such a long relationship with so many of the great concertos. But we're just scratching the surface, aren't we?
My teacher was also saying that, wow, how do you, because when we were doing this, I sort of gave him the one the one that you gave me was, just you.
Oh, the conductor cam, yeah.
I may call you from some tips, that he
just
said,
look serious. That's all you have to do.
And I said, no, I have this amazing relationship with this wonderful orchestra, and I'm growing with them, that we've done both Gershwins, we've done both Ravel.
That's right.
An evening of Spanish music.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
there's not much we haven't done in terms of styles for solo with orchestra. I mean, we've touched on quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's wonderful to build that repertoire with a conductor and an orchestra.
Oh yeah.
I think that's special.
And the other thing, I think that one of the unifying parts of all of the pieces that we've done together, well, number one is the rhythm, the rhythmic aspects of the music that we've done, the Gershwin, these pieces, all of that, the Danzon coming up. I mean, it's from inside, this rhythm, and that is so easy with you. And the other thing is that we have music that we perform together that has a healthy influence of jazz or jazz harmony or something of the era that was influencing in a jazz harmony way, like Gershwin influencing the French and back and forth. It's in there too. Those chords, right? Oh.
That whole time period.
Yeah, what a time. What a time for harmony. What a time for the melding of classical and jazz.
Mm-hmm. I also think, and I think that's also what's wonderful about you guys, that even, for example, Mozart, we take Mozart, there's so many dances that were back then that, we're far removed.
Right, they've been forgotten, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the wonderful, singing in 6.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's just taking out of songs that probably were popular at the time, But I think it going back to what you were saying, yes, indeed, we especially with these 3 programs that we have done, it's in a time period with a lot of different pop elementals, were fusion. There was a lot of fusion.
It's kind of like if you could imagine the atoms of music just accidentally colliding, and then more so, right? All of a sudden, they start to meld, and you have, you have the concerto in F, for instance.
It seems fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's challenging.
It's like very challenging.
There's some tricky spot in that part, and then the piano part.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah, it's a lot of
with pianists too. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Well, so Carlos, we have now this one last piece for tonight, and I know you're going to talk to us a little about how the danzón is, but also in relation to your trip to Cuba, right?
Yeah. Just that. Of course, Marquez is a Mexican composer.
Yes.
You know, it comes from that sort of from the danzón is probably referring to. I'm not calling an expert. That to the danzón cubano. So the work. From a Cuban zarzuela, which is sort of similar. Well, it's sort of like a syncopated kind of dance. You know, has some of the elements of, you know, has some of that element, but of course, you know, it's a Now, I just read somewhere that from Veracruz, particularly from this piece, and I think that's from what I just heard. But again, I'm not calling myself an
but you play one on television, right?
You know what I mean? From a piece that I just heard as a folk piece, has that rhythm.
Right.
And then also of course I can make it minor.
Yeah, so nice. And then you're more in like the danzón by Marquez, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
it goes right in.
That's an amazing. What he has done is in a way what Bach does is just get all the, you know, the dances and then turns it into a concert stage piece because it's quite. Yes, he has the element of the dancing quality, but it's a great written. It's written really well, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's really well in terms of its form. It's very tight, you know, has this, even the sections and then the way it builds.
Right.
And of course, since we were in the improvisatory moment, because actually the piano is really in, for those who are listening, the actual piece has piano, but in the orchestra.
Yeah.
And not as a solo. So I decided, well,
let's make it a solo.
Since I'm already front, let me just, and since as you said it, the spice of life, let me just, you know, maybe improvise on the little bit in keeping that whole tradition, you know.
Absolutely.
Of course, very minimal. You know, I have to say that, folks. There's a section that was just, I always admire now people who have one rhythm for like many measures, because that was so hard to memorize. It's like, it's like what, I can't remember, it's like the clap, where the clap is, you know, something like I go, it's like, oh my God, am I on bar 4? Am I on bar 5?
Right.
You weren't the
blend
only
together,
one.
yeah.
You weren't the only one.
What I'm doing is, and it sort of has this sort of, you'll hear it. It's in the middle of the piece. It's sort of hypnotic quality and.
Oh, I love that part. There's Lee. You guys are doing the string harmonics then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Very, really high stuff.
I'm trying to I know it's just when you cue, I'm gonna be in the next section because wow, it's so hard, you know. It's like where once you get going, you know, it's all like okay, your hand goes, and it's like okay, I know, yeah, but when you're just doing one little note, and then he changes it, you know, I mean, to make it, you know, to make it sort of that sort of hypnotic, that also different. It's like oh my god, I'm like. And then there's one bar too that is it's like ba-da-pa-pa, ba-da-pa-pa, and also like when it changes to 7
it
something.
Changes around quite a bit there.
Like whoa, this is
tricky stuff.
I know it's so like you know, but it feels like oh my god, this boat is like going for a thing. At least in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yes, we're going right to the edge in that moment.
What's amazing about his piece is has to land exactly right, you know, to make you know the change.
And I think we achieved that.
Oh, I think it's fantastic, and I also feel it's bombastic. And what I'm gonna do is improvise on the same thing, a quiet meditation intro to that one.
Okay.
How about it?
Yeah.
I do it in, again because my piano has this percussion instrument. I'm gonna do it rather than E minor. I'm gonna do it in F.
That reminds me of that cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually in this key. And then of course I can't do.
Oh yeah.
Where's Yosemite Sam when you need him?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, what a melody.
Yeah.
What a melody.
I'm gonna in this key.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah.
Thank you. That was
I could
great.
listen to you play forever, man.
That was wonderful.
And
I
you
could
know,
just listen to you for hours and hours.
you played all of these little hints of what we're about to hear, the Danzon hints, and especially bum beam bum 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 beam bum. Right when you start to go into that, then it's like, oh, here comes the fire in that piece, right?
And then, quite at the you get fire, and then sort of in a meditative way.
Yes, it's great. What a range of emotions in that piece.
Of course, the danzón is a whole different ballgame,
Right.
As you will hear.
Yeah. Well, Carlos, what a show we've had with you tonight. It's so great to have you on, and I know our audience has thoroughly enjoyed watching you get to demonstrate for us and show us a lot of insight into this music, and it's been so fun. It always is fun with you, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
For me, an honor and a pleasure. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, same.
Kate, the orchestra, the audience, board members. Very fortunate and wonderful to talk from that even though through technology doing
Yes.
technical things, we can actually communicate.
Yes.
And keep making music
and share music like this. It's amazing.
And
thank
you
goodness.
And let's keep doing this. All right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know it. What a night. What a night. Wow. I want to let everybody else who's on the screen say something before we go. I'm so proud of PSO tonight. I love this concert. We had such a great time, and there's a lot that we didn't play tonight from Carmen. But I mean, this was a big feature for Carlos. He had 2 concertos, plus he's out front with us on the Danzon, and what a fun night. Wow. So I'll pass it around. Who's next?
Okay, want to go?
Yeah, so thank you, Carlos. That, I didn't expect this show to be, every show we do every week is very moving, and it's very special for me because we miss what we do on Tuesday nights regularly, which is rehearse and meet and spend time with our friends and share music together. So to be able to have the opportunity every week to do that virtually is holding us over until we can get back on stage. But I got to tell you that doing the show with you tonight has reignited that fire to get back on stage again.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Absolutely. I think everyone else is sharing in this kind of uplifting event that just happened tonight. I hope everyone's feeling that same response to this music.
Oh yeah.
So, in that vein, I guess I will switch over and put on my executive director hat now and talk about if you all are enjoying what we're doing tonight, if you are enjoying what we have been bringing to you every week during quarantine, right from the start, and the amazing soloists that we bring in, and this amazing powerhouse of a small orchestra that produces such phenomenal performances on a consistent basis. I'm honored to be a part of this orchestra, and
me too.
If you are loving what we're doing here and what we do all season long, I will post again our link to our fundraiser.
Yeah.
That obviously all arts organizations and artists are having a very tough time navigating right now with the livelihoods just evaporating. So if you are able to, please donate to our Save the Music Fund, which I will post in the comments. And if you can't donate, that's okay, because what you're doing right now by being here tonight matters more to me personally than the money, because it's about sharing in this experience.
Yeah.
And I want to thank all of you for being here tonight and every week. And if you can share this video once it's over so we can spread this amazing music far and wide, that'll do it.
That is important. Very important.
Yes.
Kate, how many weeks have we done these? This is week 9 or week 8. I know that.
March 26th was our first broadcast, and the reason I remember that date is because it was 3 years to the day of our Beethoven 9 performance
That's
at Hilton. So that March 26th date stuck out for me.
Yeah.
And I think lockdown for us, at least in our household, started on the 13th, Friday the 13th.
Very close after, yeah.
So we were very, very close, and it's been about 2 months, I guess.
It is, so literally today, the 26th.
So
this is our 8th episode.
Here we go.
Unbelievable. I mean,
not counting the marathon day of Give Local Piedmont, of course.
Right.
But
3 broadcasts in one day.
in one
amazing.
day. So we really racked them up. So I'll go back and count them and post that later. Give you guys the exact
impressive
number.
though, and again,
it is.
It's a labor of love, and we in the orchestra are we're always happy that we get to do what we do to perform and share with you all in live performances. But this having, by the way, let's not forget, we want to give our shout out to Dinesh Matani for the incredible video work, and for Don Spalding for the amazing audio work. And without those two guys, we wouldn't have these shows. So thank you both.
Absolutely
very,
true.
very
You
much.
guys
Once
have
again,
done amazing work.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just been great partnership with them too. But
Right.
it matters. It does matter to us that everybody tunes in. It matters that you share our broadcasts, and we know that you do because we see the metrics of our views. We have what do you think we're at now? I mean, it's astounding.
It's tens of thousands at this
It really
point in
is.
terms of all of our shows.
Yeah.
You know, some of them have higher viewers than others, but we're at,
Easily
7,500 views on one broadcast
Right.
alone.
So we're easily at 15, 20,000 views of our shows.
And, we wouldn't have this widespread visibility without these shows. So
No.
I think if you look for a silver lining,
There it is.
not that we like this at all, but
No.
there's your silver lining right there. We're able
Yeah.
to reach more people virtually than we can in just the concert hall. So
Exactly. Well, Lee, what about you, my friend?
I just want to say that it's such an honor to work with a fine orchestra, and it's just a true honor to be your concertmaster and to work with artists such as Carlos.
Yeah.
And it was such an incredible night of music, and it's one of my favorite styles of music to play.
Me too.
It's got so much flair and so much personality. I just love to do more stuff like this in the future with you. And
Absolutely.
I can't wait to get back on stage. I miss everybody so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I
It's
really,
been tough.
really do.
It's been tough.
Yeah, it has.
No doubt.
So
Well,
I think
we'll get through it, and I think it's so wonderful, and I thank you all. My love to all of you. What an honor. And yes, I think music, orchestras, live orchestras, opera, singers is very important for people. I know we need to stay safe, and it's really important to stay safe, but I think as things develop, it's very important also to fund all these organizations, because it is what makes who we are. Culture, as they say, cultura, from the longest time, from civilizations.
Yeah.
That's what look at us when we are a step
Yes.
higher.
Yeah.
And this is music, as
It
well
is.
as others. Well, but
Right.
because we're talking about music and art is what makes us who we are. So, thank
Yeah.
you, and honor and support.
Thank you,
PSO.
Carlos. Yeah. What a
Carlos.
what a night. What a night, guys. Fantastic.
I think it's only fitting that we're going to end with this piece.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it embodies everything that we love about performing with PSO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it has incredible solos. I know, Lee, you have a
Yeah.
solo with Carlos, and it's
Yeah.
with another instrument, I believe. It's clarinet and violin and you. And
I
then
think that
so many solos. Go ahead.
And Lindsay, who's watching right now. Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay has an amazing solo on clarinet in this
Oh,
piece,
big
right?
time. She has a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, several.
Yes.
And I know there's piccolo solos with Louisa Lowe and trumpet with Pat Nidich. The soli sections are numerous, right? The brass and the horns, and it's just such a cool piece. And we did broadcast this, I guess, on our telethon, if I'm correct.
We did.
But you can never get enough of the Danzon by Marquez. It's one of those pieces where it's one of the ones that you push replay often when I got to hear that again, right?
Yeah.
It's that kind of music. So, wow,
Definitely.
what a night! And as Ernie mentioned, we're going to take a couple weeks off. We've got plenty of music that we'll be bringing back to you all. I want to give a shout out to my stepdad Mike, who is fighting some illness right now down in Florida. I love you, Mike, and I hope to come down and see you in the next couple weeks. So with that, folks, are you all ready for the Danzon?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right.
Disfruten con sabor latino.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on. Elise, thanks for hanging out with us all night tonight. That was so fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And with that, folks, we'll move on to the Danzon by Marquez, Danzon number 2, with our wonderful friend and collaborator Carlos Rodriguez. Carlos, my friend, stay healthy. Best to Peter. Thank you guys both, and we miss you guys. And we will get back together. The music will never stop, will it?
No, it won't.
Never, ever, ever. All right, guys, here we go. Welcome, please, Carlos Rodriguez with the Piedmont Symphony Orchestra performing the Danzon.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Good night, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Here we go.